Okay, guys, I think we've got the majority of you in here. Happy Monday and happy Monday of Dead Week. This is our last official lecture meeting. Not our last meeting, because don't forget about Wednesday, but our last lecture meeting. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing at this point, but I have really enjoyed this class because we've had so much kind of one-on-one time, even though most of it was on Zoom. So my goal today is to kind of go through what was in the weekly briefing email yesterday and just go through kind of what the end of the semester looks like. And then we can definitely talk about presentations and Medusa head management plans. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you and we'll look at Blackboard together. And as always, if you guys have questions, please just pipe in and let me know. All right, so in the week 15 folder, you've got the weekly briefing, and that gave you quite a bit of information for not only this week, Dead Week, but next week, Finals Week as well. And there will be an update for next week too. So just be on the lookout for that. But today is our last lecture period, and we may use it for one of the groups to kind of practice depending on availability and who is here. Okay, but for those of you guys that have seen the weekly briefing email or haven't seen it, go find it right now if you can, please. There are some hyperlinks in here under item number 2 about practice group presentations. And I normally don't do this, but because we have a visitor coming to class, because we are prepping kind of a management plan for some outside folks, I would like us to have another opportunity to do a really professional job. And so that's what that practice session is about. And I'm hoping we can get them in with everybody involved in the group. But if we only need to, if we need to use, like 3 out of 4 people in the group or something like that, we'll go with what works best. So I know everybody's schedule is mass chaos, and trying to schedule that only over 2 days can be a little bit chaotic as well. So first things first, group 4, you win the prize because all of you guys answered the doodle poll. And so it looks like tonight at 7 p.m. works for the majority of you. I think we're just missing one group member. And so, but I'm hoping you guys can kind of pull it together with just one group member absent. So for those of you guys that are in group 4, does that sound like it will work?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. I will send you an email with a Zoom link and all of that stuff, and I will plan on seeing you guys tonight at 7 p.m. So, all right. If you're group 1, 2, or 3, please, and haven't answered the doodle poll, please go in and do that as soon as possible. It's my goal to kind of have presentation or meeting time set by this afternoon. So please do that as soon as you can, and text your group members if they aren't here, or email them and just let them know that we need to get that done.
Okay, so
all right. Yes.
Group 1 met this morning and we just answered it as a group. So the time that we put, I think, was 1 to 2 tomorrow.
Fantastic. Okay.
So that works for all of us.
So group 2, Courtney, is that right?
Shoot. I think we're group 1.
Okay, sorry, group 1. Okay, cool. So Tuesday at 10. Oh shoot. Okay, I'm gonna have to cancel.
No, it should be Tuesday from like 1 to 2, I believe.
Okay.
Maybe I did that wrong.
Okay, which is fine. Like if Tuesday at 2 works, that's fine.
Yeah, it's showing up as 1 to 2 on my doodle page, but I don't know why it's showing up from,
Okay, are you in as group 1?
yeah, it says group 1 practice presentation.
Okay.
If you're having issues with the time, one thing that we noticed last night is sometimes it'll default you to a different time zone. So that may be where you're having that issue with the time lining up just right.
Oh, that's helpful. Yeah, that might be what my computer did.
Yeah, because mine says Los Angeles, so that's why it's saying 10, because it's thinking 2 o'clock Eastern time.
Mine
So-
says New York.
Yep. That'll do it.
Good, okay.
Okay, but so 2 o'clock Pacific time works for you guys tomorrow. Is that right?
1 p.m. to 2 p.m.
1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Okay, let me check something. Oh, please don't let me have. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so group 1. It's Tuesday, 1 to 2 p.m. Okay, that's great. I will send you guys out an email with a Zoom link and all that stuff in it as soon as we get done. Okay, great. So we got group 1, 4, and group 1 and 4 handled. So groups 2 and 3, please just get those doodle polls in by no later than this afternoon, so I can get you guys times to meet this evening. So, all right. Presentations. So just as a reminder, the Medusa Head Management Plan is made up of 2 parts, right? So the first part is a presentation of a solution, or I have one group that's actually going to present carrying capacity to Julie, and that will occur this Wednesday, December 8th, beginning at 2 p.m. And so that is kind of the first order of business, is to really put some focus on creating a professional presentation. So if you guys have slides, that is great. You will have host capability to where you can share a screen. If you wanted an activity as part of that, that is absolutely fine too. We're aiming for no longer than 30 minutes per group, and with about a presentation between 12 to 15 minutes, and then the rest of the time open for discussion and questions. So that is what Wednesday is going to look at. And during the presentations today, I will give you guys kind of the order that you're going to go in. And so carrying capacity, folks, which is group 1, you guys are going to present first. Okay, so just kind of be prepping for that, because we'll prep carrying capacity and then move into the solutions that the other groups have. All right. After quite a bit of deliberation, I decided that I really wanted you guys to have some extra time to do a really good job on the Medusa Head Management Plan. So that is going to serve as our final exam in this class. I extended the due date to Wednesday, December 15th by the end of day. Okay, so you guys are turning in individual files. So every person in your group is going to turn in something to the submission link for the Medusa Head Management Plan. And that submission link will be in next week's folder. Okay, so I'm fully expecting, like, we've got 7 people in group number 4. I'm fully expecting 7 of the same files to be uploaded. And so please just be aware of that. And that everybody needs to upload a submission on time. Okay, and so that submission needs to be saved as a PDF document, so it doesn't mess with, moving tables around and text and that type of thing. And so these management plans will also go to Julie next week after I get them graded. And so I really want you guys to do a good job on that. So rather than having you kind of split time to do a final exam and study for it, we're just going to make that the final exam. So any questions about the Medusa Head Management Plan serving as the final exam. Oh, I don't think I shared my screen. Okay, so with that, are you guys okay not having another final? I'm assuming so.
Definitely, yes.
Okay, all right, just checking. I didn't know if our preferences have changed to loving tests or not. So, okay, cool. All right. Let me. I have one more announcement before we start switching gears here. Okay, so the last thing that in addition to the group presentations that is due this week is extra credit. So if you guys are interested in doing extra credit, that is actually linked in here on the week 15 module. And so the way the extra credit is structured is that the assignment is actually a literature review assignment. And so you can do 2 of those, and you're going to use the structure and the actual assignment from AGRA 490 that we call the Journal Club assignment. And so that is linked in here to the submission assignment. And you're going to use that, and then you're going to go find a peer-reviewed journal article about range science, okay? Or range management, either one of those will work. And so you are going to read the paper and then go through and answer the questions about that paper that are contained in that assignment. And you can do that for 2 papers. So two assignments, you can submit up to 2 of them, 10 points each per review, for a total of up to 20 points of extra credit. And so that would take would roughly cover like 1 exam. So if extra credit is something that you're interested in, that is going to be due this Friday by end of day as well. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew about that and that was on your radar. But as far as like lecture quizzes and that type of stuff, you don't have any of that due. This week is all about presentations and the extra credit. So also this week, as I forgot to put it in the briefing, but just as a reminder, if you missed assignments throughout the semester, and these have to be the assignments, not the quizzes. If you've missed them throughout the semester, you can do those and get them turned in by Friday, December 10th, end of day, for up to half credit. So that's kind of the pardon day as well. So don't forget about that as outlined in the syllabus. Okay, any questions about what the rest of the semester looks like? All right, fantastic. So I think what I will do, we've got some time left. So we've got 30 minutes or so left. I'm going to actually put you guys into your group breakout rooms and kind of bounce around and just check in with all of you, okay? So as I'm doing that, feel free to answer or ask any questions that you may have. It's going to take me just a second to build these rooms. Okay, guys, all the rooms are open. Go ahead and head to your respective room and I will be in as soon as I can.
Hey, Dr. Diatley.
Yeah,
I just have a quick question.
yeah,
So I don't know if you remember, but I had emailed you not like a month ago or so, like explaining like the loss of a loved one.
yeah.
And like with COVID and everything, there was like a lot of delays and like backtracking. So they set her viewing for this Wednesday. And I was just wondering if like our group can be one of the first, because I know the lab goes on to 4:50 and her viewing is at 5, but since I was like closer and everything, I have to be there a bit earlier. So I would leave the class like an hour
Yeah.
early. So I was just
Um,
wondering if our group can be one of, I know you said, I don't know if you said one group was already presenting first, but maybe like after.
Yeah, so thank you for letting me know. I'll take that into consideration. We are really only aiming for being in class for 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping that even if it fits and you guys go last, that'll be still plenty of time.
Okay.
But you are group 3, correct?
3. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, I'm sorry it was just like so last minute. It was just like
No,
last
that's okay.
minute
That,
general,
yeah, that stuff is kind of at the mercy of COVID restrictions right now.
Yeah,
So,
literally.
okay, great. Yeah. So I will take that in consideration. I'll let you guys know, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. I'll go into my group now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi guys, how are we doing?
Oh, there we go. We're a little confused on like what everyone's doing. Not like in our group, but like as a class. Because you were
Okay.
saying some of the groups are doing like carrying capacity and others are.
So I've been working with one of the groups that's doing a really good job, like presenting carrying capacity. So I wanted them, rather than having them present a solution, they are just presenting carrying capacity. So everybody else is presenting your solutions that we've been talking about.
Okay, and we're basically sharing what our entire paper is about. So solution as well as all the background.
You can preface the background, absolutely, but you don't need to spend a ton of time on it because you're presenting to the person that manages it, right? So she knows. So
Okay.
the majority of your time needs to be spent on your solution, and that's where you're going to do like a deep dive of that solution. So I'm trying to remember, you guys are talking about like high intensity grazing in combination with herbicide and fire. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the solution that you're going to be presenting. So that's where you can, go through and define, what is grazing, what is herbicide, what is fire, and then how those things are going to work together. So that's gonna, even though you only have like 12 to 15 minutes for presentation, that's gonna take up a lot of time. So are you guys feeling okay about that? Not feeling okay about it? Do you have all your research done?
We took the wrong approach. So we don't have an entire presentation just on the solution. Ours was like background information. So I think we're gonna have to start completely over.
Well, okay, so can you show me what you have?
Yeah, I can share it right now.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'll just go through all the slides. We have our goals and objectives. Talk about the land, soil. Basically, everything we had on our paper, we kind of just transferred it over to our slides. And then this is the only slide where we had our solutions, and we're going to talk, or our one solution, and we're going to talk more about it.
Okay. So
So do we not need everything else up here?
no, you don't. So
Oh,
here,
okay.
yeah, roll back up to the top. Okay, so the way that I structure presentations, and you can take this or leave this, is other than like title slides like this one, plan on spending about a minute per slide. Okay, so if we're doing a 15-minute presentation, we should aim to have about 15 slides. And that's just a ballpark. It's not a hard and fast rule. So with the background information, like, I don't think that that is wasted time, because it really helped you guys get a good understanding of what the situation is and how the site is structured, right? So you can keep those slides in the slideshow, and just put them at the end in case if there's any questions that come up, you can be like, oh, this is our impression, this is the native species that we thought were there, you know, that type of thing. But what the majority of your solution or your presentation needs to focus on is that solution. So I would keep definitely the title slide, so the Medusa Head Management Plan. I think keeping the goals and objectives is a good idea. And then the next slide, maybe just do keep the land resources and just use that as kind of an overview of how you want to, or an overview of the property. And then some of these other slides are probably going to be really useful, right? Because are you going to talk about the influence of soil on, you know, like herbicide effectiveness, those type of things? That's where you could pull like information from that soil slide and bring into your presentation. All right, so does that help?
Yeah, it helps. I'm just trying to figure out what we're gonna do now.
Okay, so the last slide with the solution, yeah, that one. So that is like a good like 4th or 5th slide to start with, and then all the other slides after that are going to be about this solution. Okay, so yeah, so and good, you've got some dates and stuff in here, so that's good. So pre-emergent herbicide in early September. Okay, and then high intensity grazing. Okay, so on high intensity grazing, yeah, you could probably do that in the fall. I would just put in the caveat there of like, if we get early enough rain to actually start germination in the fall, then do high intensity grazing. But there's some years that we don't get rain until the cows have to come off November 15th. So those years, it would just be eating residual dry matter and wouldn't really have the ability to eat the young shoots before the cows had to come off. So, yeah, and then what does high intensity grazing look like? So does that mean that you have a certain number of head per acre? Are you, what's your stocking rate and your grazing intensity going to be? So what justifies high intensity grazing versus just normal conventional grazing? So those are some things to think about. So grazing, herbicide, and fire probably at minimum need at least one of their own slides, right? Maybe two to fully explain them. And then towards the end of it, your summary slide could maybe be like how all three of those things work together and what the timeline looks like. All right, so does that help you guys kind of restructure a little bit?
Yeah, I'm just writing everything down.
Okay, great. All right, and so you guys are pretty handled and we are gonna meet tonight at 7, right?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, feel free to stick around if you want, or jump off if you need to. That is totally fine. I'm just gonna go hit the other breakout rooms, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You bet. We'll talk to you soon.
It's probably that
Hey,
one.
guys.
Uh-oh.
Talking about me, huh? I get it.
No, we weren't talking about you. We were just
Okay.
talking about a presentation.
Good, good.
I heard an alarm go off though, or something. Like I'm being watched by someone.
Oh.
Like the government's watching. It says recording.
It does say recording.
How are you doing?
I am great. Thank you. How are you guys feeling about presentation stuff?
Not well.
Fantastic. Why aren't we feeling well?
I think it's the seating aspect of our presentation.
Okay.
Choosing one was a bit, at least I thought so, was a bit overwhelming. And I just wanted to make sure that this was something that was like acceptable. To be
That would actually work. We don't know.
yeah, essentially, yeah. We decided to talk about bottle brush squirrel tail.
Yeah, that'll work because it's a species that's already there, right?
Yeah, okay, that's what I had a question about because I had narrowed it down to that one or reed canary grass, but I know that's in the summer field that Julie focuses, but
Yeah.
I also read that it could work. And then I thought about how obviously that area has reed canary grass. So, and it's, I suppose, not as invaded by Medusa head. So maybe it could do the same for other parts, but
Yeah, and so when we plant, we want to make sure we're planting with a mix of several species that are desirable and not just one, because if we plant with just one species and we get a bad year, it's going to kill the whole field, right? But if we plant with multiple species, then even if we get a bad year, some are probably going to survive and some are going to die.
okay, so
And-
it was, oh, sorry, Dr. Dion.
No. So if you guys are doing seating, I just was at a conference and there was a company there that I really hadn't heard of before.
Yeah, that helps a lot that we're trying to work on more diverse, like plant diversity in the region.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause I
so like squirrel tail is good, annual rye is probably good. Here, I'm gonna put this website in the chat for you guys. This is Great Basin Seed. So they do a lot of seeding like in a sagebrush steppe area. So you can look around on their website and see if they've got some mixes that would work in this area. And when in doubt, get on the phone and call them and see. And so how is the grazing aspect going to work with seeding? What's your thoughts there?
Well, I think we're going to be we're gonna graze in the fall, then we're gonna seed in the spring.
No,
Is that right?
no. So I had written down that it was,
Or is
it
that
was
flip
grazed
flopped?
in early spring, sorry, in February, since that's before Medusa head fully matures, and that's the most palatable it is during, like, for animals. So I thought that would make the most sense, so it can actually get grazed by the cattle.
Okay, so let's see, we're in December now. So if you were gonna implement something over the next year, you would suggest like grazing those pastures heavy in the spring. Is that right?
Not heavy.
Okay, because you don't have anything planted yet, right? So if you graze it heavy before Medusa head goes in the boot stage, then you can actually decrease the seeding ability of Medusa head for that season. Because they're going to eat off the tops, right? And so they aren't going to be able to grow into seed out.
Correct.
Okay, so then I agree with you. I think seeding in the fall is the key.
Okay.
Okay, because then it has all winter to set dormant, and then it'll germinate in the spring. So you may need to have like a 2, 3, 4 year type plan in order to get those seedings established. So maybe you like graze Medusa head hard in the spring to try to decrease it, and then seed in the fall. And maybe you wait a year and let it get established and rest it the following year, right? To let those seeds get established, and then come back in and graze the year after that. So think of your like grazing and your seeding plan as going together, but think of it, put it on a 5-year plan. Like if you were Julie, this is our recommendation and why.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So I am gonna try to put you guys in that second position to present on Wednesday. I will confirm that when I get kind of set up to meet with you guys. So I think we are. Oh yeah, have you guys filled out the doodle poll?
I think a couple of us have.
No, I didn't get in. My internet's slow, so I didn't get into the poll. I don't know where that's at.
Okay, so it's just a hyperlink in the weekly briefing. So either on email or in the week 15 folder of Blackboard.
Okay.
So if the rest of you guys could do that, that would be great, and we'll get a time set. Right now, it looks like Tuesday at 5 works for Val and Tommy.
Can you just put me there for that? Because it's not loading.
Okay, so that works for John. Nitsi, how about you?
That works for me. Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, cool. And Luz, does Friday at 5 work for you?
Friday at 5?
Yeah, or not Friday. Gosh, it's a Monday. Tuesday at 5. Tomorrow, the 7th at 5.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so you guys are officially 12/7 at 5 p.m. I'll email you the Zoom links and stuff.
Okay, sounds good.
Uh-oh. Sorry, 2 seconds. I think the puppy's in the room. Just a second. Come on, Boogie. Hey, come on. Okay. Sorry. Okay, cool. So yeah, work on your slides, and we'll meet tomorrow night to kind of fine tune stuff. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yep, you bet.
you.
Oh, it's gonna kick us out. So if you guys want to leave the breakout room, I will reschedule them so we can go back to them. Sorry.
Yeah, could you give us a few more minutes, please?
Yeah. Yep, we got to go back to the main room, and then I'll reassign breakout rooms. just give it a few more seconds to shut down and then I'll reassign them. There we go. Okay, sorry guys, I forgot to reset the timer. So I'm gonna let you guys go back to breakout rooms, and from there you can leave or stick around, whatever you need to. So I just need to meet with two more groups, group 1 and group 2. And so group 2, I'm getting ready to come into your room right now. So I'm gonna open all the rooms back up. There you go. And Eileen, you're in group 4.
There she is.
Hi guys,
Hello.
Hi.
Casey.
how's it going?
I'm extremely
It's going.
How's it going?
Awesome, cool. So I just wanted to check in with you. How are you guys feeling about presentation stuff?
We're feeling okay.
Okay, you got kind of slides ready to go or working on them at least?
Just finishing them up.
Okay, cool. But your research is all done?
Yes.
For the most part.
Okay, cool. Great, great, great. Okay, so I think I think you guys are the last group I kind of need to schedule a practice session with.
I think we all have the doodle polls done.
Okay, yep, it looks like everybody has voted, so let me pull it up. Okay, tonight at 6. Okay.
I voted Casey, but I probably can't make it tonight. But we've worked it out, I think, and we're gonna
Okay.
be fine.
All right, I will send you guys a Zoom link and stuff.
Perfect.
Awesome. I did not think about these options in the NFR, so this is my fault. So
Yeah, we spent probably about 2 hours yesterday trying to figure out a time that works for all of us.
I knew I would have to go to evenings, so it's fine. I don't need to watch the NFR.
Just record it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. So we don't have TV here at the house at all. So my aunts have it, but actually most of our family is in Vegas tonight. So they're going to the round. So I'm sure they will FaceTime me and rub it in, but that's okay. It's fine. I'm fine. We're fine. So okay, cool. Well, you guys are pretty on top of stuff as individuals, so I'm not super worried about you. So if you guys are good, we can.
I have a question though.
Yeah, go for it.
It's about budget. You said that you were gonna talk to somebody maybe about a plane, like a.
Yes, and I cannot get a hold of him.
Okay.
So maybe do some searching on like crop dusting fees, that type of thing. And I can probably text Tracy to get some ballpark figures. So let me do that.
And you said you wanted us to focus on like fertilizer, nitrogen, but I've found more content on like bacteria use with a little bit of the only nitrogen stuff I've really read is from the original grazing management stuff, like from that we read as a class.
Yeah.
I haven't found a lot of extra stuff on that, but like, should we mix it up, like kind of both combined?
Yeah. So we probably need to, and by we, I mean you, Probably need to answer the question of like, can those two things go together? Do they have to be applied separately? If they can go together, then absolutely, use them as part of the management plan. I just don't know what that physically looks like. Like, are you going to fly on nitrogen and then fly on a bacteria? Is that the way the bacteria gets applied? So hopefully in your research, you're seeing some of that type of stuff.
Yes, they spray on the bacteria at a specific time, but
Okay.
they've mostly done it on like smaller trials. So like I was gonna say, like I was gonna trying to think what I would say.
So are you recommending
so
maybe
I would
a plot trial?
Yeah, and what I wrote, I was like suggesting like just starting out with something small to see
Yeah.
kind of what it does, because there's nothing that's been done like specifically for that exact environment. So I guess like a small trial would be the best to see if it actually works there.
Yeah, like maybe plots can vary in size for sure, but I mean, one of those pastures is a 700-acre pasture. So if you did like a 1 acre plot of maybe a control that doesn't get anything, right? And then a plot of spray or bacteria spray by itself, plot of nitrogen application by itself, and then maybe a fourth plot of like nitrogen and spray together. Kind of like a little mini research trial.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's kind of how it should look.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. And so if you guys can grab some images and stuff and like how that would set up, and maybe use like Google Earth or PowerPoint to like draw in plots and that type of thing, that would be awesome for the presentation.
Okay.
Cool.
Can it be generic, like just like a box kind of on a white, like on the slide screen?
Yep.
Labeled like what we're going to use?
Yep. Or screenshot, take a deeper look of in Google Earth, screenshot that, and then like copy it and paste it as an image in PowerPoint, and then put in boxes on top of it.
Okay.
Okay, I need to bounce to the next room. So I will see you guys tonight. Yeah, tonight at 6, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. We'll see you guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Hi guys, I'm sorry, running a little bit behind. I just wanted to check in. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. We met up this morning and finished our slides.
Great.
And kind of delegated the different groups of where who's talking about what, but I know Luke had a question for you, so I'll let him talk too.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I had a question just regarding calculating the carrying capacity,
Okay.
because for doing the animal demand in pounds, we need to know the like average weight, and to do it in AUMs, we need to know the number of heads to calculate the animal units.
Yep. So that's what you're trying to find out, Luke. So
So
we're gonna use AUMs because that's a consistent 1,000-pound of grazing animal.
okay, because I did demand in pounds and I did it at 1,000 pounds.
1,000 pounds of like the animal is 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's an AUM. Okay. So they're gonna eat 25 pounds of dry matter per day per head, right?
Yeah, and I figured out the season was 199 days.
Okay.
So it's 4,975 pounds per season.
Okay.
And
And then
then
the stocking rate part of that is then taking
the usable forage and dividing it by that,
correct.
the number of cattle, and then that just directly translates into AUMs then, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So what kind of numbers are you getting for AUMs?
Can I just share screen and show you the slides by
Yep.
chance?
Go ahead.
When I finished out my table, I used the term AUS because animal unit season. Would that still be correct?
Yeah, that'll work too. So because we're only grazing for roughly 6 months out of the year, so it technically is a season, but also it can be a grazing year because we're not bringing cattle back in on that same calendar year as a second season. So either AUMs as animal units as months or seasons is fine.
So this is what we got for, this is just like the overview table of everything.
Yep. So what is the pasture? What is good and poor? That's my first question.
Good is like during a good year and poor is like in poor conditions. And for specifics, like this is the S2 pasture
Okay.
good year. And the utilization rate was set at 40% because the article I found said during a good year utilization would be 35 to 45%. So I
Okay.
just split it down the middle.
Yep. So let's make sure to put that reference in somewhere.
Okay.
And then, so instead of good and poor, let's call it normal and drought.
Okay. And then for drought years, I did 25% because it gave me 20 to 30% as the range.
Okay, great. Okay, so just stay on the slide for just a second, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's, because you guys are smart, you can handle this. So for each pasture on the salute or on the carrying capacity end of that, let's express it two ways. Because, and this gets to Tessa's comment. Let's express it as animal units per season. And then let's also redo the math on it and express it as animal unit months. That way she has both values because all of her management decisions are on AUMs on paper, like for reporting purposes and stuff. But what actually happens boots on the ground is season stuff. So the reason that AUMs would be helpful for Julie is because she can dump however many cows into a pasture for a month and then pull them out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So how would we do that?
Okay, so on animal demand, you're just going to have two lines. So you've got your season line there, which is good. So then we would just need to change that 199 to
Like
the
30?
the 30 days. Yeah.
And then would we do another carrying capacity?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Cool.
So if you need to help keep those straight, you may put like season in one color of font and AUMs in another color of font.
Okay. And then would you want us to add AUMs in here as well for our table, like under the AUS?
Yeah, so for this table, can you do it just looking at or have a couple of these type of slides? So just do S2 kind of normal AUM AUS, and then S2 drought AUM AUS. So you still would have like 4 columns of information. You would just be looking at pasture S2 by itself and then pasture S4 by itself.
Sounds good. I can fix that.
Okay. Yeah, you guys have got it though. You've got it figured out. So your numbers look good.
And then does this look right too? Because I realized that we have to change the grams for S4 as well. And I just did the converter on Google.
Yeah, so grams to pounds. Yeah, that looks right. That looks good.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I feel pretty confident about it. I mean, you're further ahead than other groups. So and then we're gonna meet tomorrow at 1, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And I will get you guys the Zoom information and stuff. I need to jump over to another group. They just asked for help. So are you guys feeling okay about stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, keep up the good work and we'll talk with you guys tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Hi, guys.
Well,
I saw we needed help. So sorry, it just took me a minute to get over here. What's going on?
so we were talking about our solution and we just wanted to double check that we should be grazing in the fall and then seeding in the spring. Or if we had those backwards.
Backwards. So with,
not-
yeah, with seeding, with native species, we need them to get established over a winter. So typically we would plant in the fall, let them rest and be dormant in through the winter, and then they will germinate in the spring.
Makes more sense.
Yeah. And so we don't want to graze it super hard in the spring. I would suggest not grazing it at all after you seed it. So let it rest a year, gain some traction, get some root bases, let it seed out so that it can seed the following year, that type of thing. And I think I told you guys annual rye before, but we need perennial rye.
Okay.
So,
Change that.
and yeah, annual rye is just, well, I don't know. What? No, annual rye would work because
Yeah.
it would seed out and establish itself.
Okay. I think these other ones are perennials that we were looking at: bottle brush squirrel tail, reed canary grass, crested wheatgrass.
Yep. So I would do, so those are great perennials. I would also see if they have a mix of like desirable annuals, because we know annuals like this country, right? So if for some reason the perennials don't establish themselves at the rate that we need them to, at least something will come up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like some desirable annuals would be the rye. And then you can look through the vegetation stuff that was presented before of some of the other like good annuals that are there. I wouldn't do reed canary. That soil type is not super conducive for reed canary. And it takes too much water. So, but maybe,
Have slender wheatgrass as an option.
okay, yep. Slender wheatgrass.
Crested wheatgrass, bottle brush, squirrel tail.
Yeah, those are all perennials.
Okay. And
Um,
we'll have to try and find a couple more annuals.
yeah, so like, oh, it's gonna kick us out of breakout rooms. Maybe like some rip gut brome. I'll have to look and see what Great Basin has, see if they have any annuals.
Yeah, I'll look around on their website.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. So we got like 27 seconds. So what are you guys thinking? Are you feeling pretty good about stuff?
Yeah, I think talking with you got us going in the direction where we could add more information.
Okay, cool. So, and we're gonna meet tomorrow at 1. No, you guys are at 3.
Yes.
Tomorrow at 5. Yep. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, it's gonna kick us back to the main room. So okay, sorry. It's bouncing us back and forth. So all right. So if you guys are feeling good, I need to jump off and get into another meeting. And so we'll just plan on seeing you tomorrow, okay? Awesome. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you
Okay.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Yeah.